Welcome to the Insight series on personal well-being. Our question for this week is major daily health-related lifestyle choices. How much sleep do you actually need? Number 26. In answering the question, how much sleep do you actually need? It's important for us to realize that sleep primarily helps the brain function. It helps order our thoughts, feelings, emotions. It also reinforces and allows various organ systems to reset for the next day's activities. But it does have primarily a brain function value. Secondly, according to the National Institutes of Health, we need different amounts of sleep depending at different ages. So you can see the chart at the right, and you can notice that as an infant needs somewhere between 16 and about 18 hours of sleep on average. And that's to go through the various processes of growth and development. When we come to children, it drops down a little bit below 10 hours on average. And again, this is average, so it means some are over, some are under. But the variation is around this particular mean or average. When you're a teenager, it's about the same as it is when you're a child. When you're an adult, it goes down a slight amount. And when you are an older person, particularly over the age of 65, your sleep needs drop significantly. Part of this, by the way, is due to the getting up at night, going to the bathroom, being disturbed by sounds and sleeping more lightly, having dietary impact on how well you're sleeping. Those are a lot of the things that occur in terms of the sleep issue. Third point is that there are four main stages of sleep, and the last being REM sleep, and that's rapid eye movement sleep. So as we go through those four stages, after about 90 minutes of actually sleeping, we usually enter into a REM sleep mode. Fourth, there are two major mechanisms which regulate sleep. One is our circadian rhythms, and the other is what's called sleep-wake homeostasis. So those two mechanisms are the ones that essentially work with each other to vary and to cause various patterns of sleep behavior. The fifth point is that genes, neurotransmitters, hormones, and other biochemicals interact to shape our sleep experience. So depending on what we eat, depending on what medications we take, depending on whether we consume alcohol or not, the various ages and seasons of health and well-being that we go through, those are all going to influence the nature of the quantity and quality of the sleep that we get. The sixth issue, and a lot of this, by the way, comes directly from the Institutes for Neurological Sciences at the National Institute of Health in the U.S. Getting enough sleep is good for your health. Here are a few tips to improve the quality of your sleep. First of all, set a schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. That begins to help your circadian rhythms and your sleep-wake homeostasis to equilibrate and to come up with more of a habitual pattern that your body is used to. Secondly, if you exercise 20 to 30 minutes a day, and that can be moderate exercise, it can be walking, it can be more vigorous exercise, but don't do it later than a few hours before going to bed. Many clinicians feel that you should not exercise within 3 hours of the time that you are going to expect to go to bed. This also, by the way, is an important dimension in terms of general exercise because that's also something that helps tire us out and helps change and balance our biochemistry and metabolism. You want to avoid caffeine and nicotine late in the day and alcoholic drinks before bed. Those generally are felt by the researchers and scientists and clinicians as not being a good supporting characteristic or practice for getting good sleep. Also, if you can relax before bedtime, try a warm bath, reading, listening to soothing music, or another relaxing routine. So those are things that will help you get into a sleep mode. You also want to create a room for sleep. Avoid bright lights and loud sounds. You want to also keep the room at a comfortable temperature, and don't watch TV or have a computer in your bedroom, because those oftentimes are going to increase your mental activity and mental energy. Also, don't lie in bed awake. I've had many experiences where I'm awake and I lay in bed for a half an hour or 45 minutes, and then I'm still wide awake. I generally get up after a period of time. Usually, I give it personally about 30 minutes, and then I will get up and then do something like reading or listening or writing on a computer or doing something until I feel tired. So the general advice that you get from the scientists that study sleep patterns is don't lie in bed awake, but get up and basically get some of the energy out, and then you'll feel more tired and ready to sleep. Another tip that they have provided for us is if you feel really tired during the day, take a short 20 to 30-minute nap to refresh yourself. And as I have gotten older, I find that I need to do that periodically. It's not a habit in terms of everyday experience, but it is something that I use as needed. Also, you can see a doctor that specializes in sleep disorders. If you have more of a problem sleeping and it's bothering you and it's interrupting and causing some changes in your lifestyle and life pattern, then you want to get some help with it. And if you're feeling unusually tired during the day, that may be a sign that you do need some clinical advice about the condition and the circumstance. Fortunately, and we are fortunate that most sleep disorders can be treated effectively by various kinds of therapeutic approaches. So that's what helps us through the various difficulties. And my experience in terms of my lifespan is my sleep has changed quite a bit over the years. It's pretty dynamic, actually. So the patterns that go along with our getting older do in fact change the way in which we sleep and the way in which we need to sleep. So in summary, sleep is very important to our well-being. Understanding your own sleep patterns at this stage in your life is important, along with establishing good sleep habits. But don't become overly concerned with temporary disruptions in your usual sleep habits. Stay focused on the long haul and be willing to flex your usual habits when appropriate. Now, for more information on this topic, try putting the following terms in your web browser search engine. What do we know about sleep? Tips for getting a good night's sleep? Good sleep practices. Next week, we'll address the question, major daily health-related lifestyle choices. What personal hygiene choices are important to do daily? We encourage you to live well, live wise, live long.